You're tuning into the deep dive because you want to get to the heart of things quickly, really understand what matters without getting lost in all the noise. Think of us as your shortcut to getting informed.
And today we're diving into a really interesting resource, actually. It's a guide from Lions Clubs International called Just Ask, New Member Recruiting Guide for Clubs.
Yeah, and what's great about this, I think, is even if, Lions clubs aren't your specific thing, the ideas in here about growth and getting people involved, they apply pretty much anywhere.
Totally. Volunteer groups, community projects, even professional networks. It's got some surprisingly useful strategies for attracting people and keeping them engaged.
We're all part of groups, right?
Yeah.
And making them strong often means bringing in fresh energy. This guide lays out a pretty clear four-step process the Lions use.
Right. We're going to walk through it. It covers, first, getting your club ready internally.
Okay.
Second, creating a real growth plan.
Strategy.
Then putting that plan into action, the doing part. And finally, and this is key, making sure those new folks feel really welcome and stick around.
And the whole idea behind it, the foundation, is pretty simple. More people means more impact, more service.
Exactly. So figuring out how to grow that base is vital no matter what your group does.
Okay, so let's unpack that first step. Preparing your club. Now, this isn't about immediately running out to find people.
No, not at all. The guide really stresses looking inward first, taking stock.
So self-reflection.
Yeah, basically. Asking, what's our core purpose here? What do the current members actually care about? What do they want to achieve?
And thinking about the future, too, you said.
Right. Where do we want to be in a year? 5 years. It's about having that clear direction before you invite others along.
Makes sense. Define your why before the who or how. And that why connects to what you want to do, right? The actual project.
Absolutely. What kind of service? How often? Where?
Yeah.
Nailing that down gives everyone focus.
And that leads into setting goals for membership.
It does. They even have a recruiting goals form in the guide. But the big takeaway isn't just we need more members.
Right, not just for the sake of numbers.
Exactly. It's about having a specific, tangible reason why more members help achieve those service goals, like an impact equation.
Okay, I like that. Impact equation. The guide warns against just saying for more service, which is kind of vague.
Yeah, it's true, but not very inspiring. Their example is much better. If we had 3 more members, we could pack 100 more lunches for the homeless each month.
Ah, okay. That's concrete. You can see the difference 3 people make.
Exactly. It sets clear expectations and shows potential recruits the direct impact they could have. That's powerful stuff.
Yeah, it really is. And then identifying who you might want to recruit. Target groups.
Right, maybe younger folks or people in certain professions, or maybe parents of kids involved in their youth programs like Leos, or even just family and friends.
Making sure those groups align with the club schools, obviously.
Obviously. And an interesting tip they give is that recruiting people in small groups, like 2 to 4 who already know each other, often works better.
Oh, that's smart. Joining with a friend is definitely less intimidating.
For sure. Now, to manage all this, they suggest setting up a membership development team.
So a specific group focused on growth.
Yeah, though they stress that recruitment is really everyone's job. But having a team provides that focus, that structure, a steering committee, basically.
And they break down the roles needed on that team.
They do. 4 key roles. First, organizing. These are your planners, the ones who can set priorities and keep things on track.
Got it. The logistical minds.
Then promoting, your tech-savvy creative types. Brochures, press releases, website, social media, getting the word out effectively.
Communicators, okay.
Third, reaching out. These are the enthusiasts, the connectors, people who genuinely love talking about the club and making those connections with potential members.
Your ambassador.
Exactly. And finally, welcoming. This team focuses on orientation and mentoring, making sure new members feel supported and settle in quickly. They even mention LCI training resources for this.
That welcoming piece seems crucial. It's not just getting them in the door.
Absolutely not. It's about integration and retention. So that first step is all about getting that internal foundation solid. Know yourself, know your goals, know who you're looking for.
Right. Makes total sense. Get your house in order first.
Precisely. And once that's done, you move to step 2, create your club's growth plan.
Okay, this is the strategy part, making it concrete.
Exactly. The membership chair, or whoever leads this, pulls together a real plan, target dates, assign tasks. They mention a club growth plan form as a possible tool.
And sharing this plan is important, not keeping it locked away.
Vital. Everyone needs to see it, understand their role. Assigning tasks creates accountability.
Okay. And part of this planning involves assessment, looking outwards.
Yes, assessing both the club itself and the community it serves, making sure activities align with real needs.
How do they suggest doing that assessment?
A couple of tools. First, internally, a how are your ratings survey. Get feedback from current members.
Ah, like an internal health check. Strengths, weaknesses, what people actually care about.
Exactly. Fix any internal issues before you recruit. Makes sense, right? Present a healthy environment.
Definitely. And the external part.
That's the community needs assessment. Finding unmet needs, identifying relevant projects. This can also directly show why you need more members. We need X people to tackle Y need.
It connects the dots again. Membership growth serves a clear community purpose.
Right. They also mention a club quality initiative, or CQI workshop, which helps align the local club's efforts with the bigger LCI strategic goals.
Like improving membership value, reaching new people, boosting service impact, improving visibility.
Yeah, all those bigger picture things, making sure everyone's pulling in the same general direction.
Okay, so assessment done. Yeah. Then comes brainstorming who to actually recruit.
Yes. Get everyone involved. Think about networks. They offer specific ways to spark ideas. Using lists from similar organizations, contacting people identified in the needs assessment, holding brainstorming sessions like ask each member for 3 relevant local businesses or groups.
Okay, specific.
And they have tools like the recruiting wheel, a visual aid to think about connections in different life areas, family, work, hobbies, etc., and a build a Lions network form to capture those names.
That recruiting wheel sounds useful. Breaks down that I don't know anyone feeling.
It really does. And they stress getting actual contact info, email, phone number. Practical, but essential.
They also mention personal visits to businesses.
Yeah, popping into local businesses, talking to owners, managers, employees. An often overlooked but potentially effective way to connect locally.
Okay, so you have potential names.
Yeah.
The plan also needs to cover where and when to recruit.
Right. Tailor it to your club and community, what makes sense for you.
And they give examples.
Sure. Holding informational meetings is a classic. Short program about the club, refreshments, chance to chat one-on-one.
Low-pressure introduction.
Or having a presence at community events. Sponsor something, have a booth, prepare a quick pitch, collect contacts, point them online.
Get visible in the community.
And maybe my favorite suggestion? Invite potential members to actually do something with you. A service project, maybe.
Ah, experience it firsthand. See the impact and the people.
Exactly. Nothing beats that. They also mention online communication training available through the Lions Learning Center to help members with these interactions.
Good resource. And speaking of online, the guide really hammers home the importance of the club's website and social media.
Oh, absolutely. Critical these days. It's often the first impression. They suggest checking how your club looks via LCI's Club Locator tool.
Make sure the website is informative, easy to use, meeting times, events, project descriptions with pictures.
All of that. And if a club doesn't have a website, they strongly push using the free eClubhouse tool LCI provides. You need that online front door.
Totally. No website, you might as well be invisible to some people. What about recruitment materials, brochures and stuff?
Yeah, keep the online info updated first and foremost. But LCI also offers downloadable and orderable materials like customizable brochure templates. Professional look helps.
Okay. And promoting those informational meetings, how do they suggest getting people there?
Several ways. Ask each member to bring a non-Lion guest. Personally invite people from your target list, mail or email. Always include website social media links.
Right. Make it easy for them to learn more beforehand.
Include RSVP info, obviously. Follow up. Maybe even consider some targeted local advertising if it fits the club's budget and goals.
And making the meeting itself successful. Any tips there?
Plenty. Hold it at your regular meeting time day if possible. Light refreshments help create a welcoming vibe. Keep the program short, focused on goals and benefit service, leadership, networking, family aspects.
Be clear about costs and time commitment too, right? No surprises.
Absolutely. Explain dues clearly. Communicate regular meeting details. And crucially, have current members there ready to mingle and answer questions informally. First impressions matter.
Definitely. So that's the planning stage covered. Lots involved there.
It's thorough. But it sets you up for the next part, step 3. Implement your club growth plan. This is where the rubber meets the road.
Okay, action time. Reaching out to those potential members.
Right, and the reaching out team kind of takes the lead here, coordinating things. A key point is trying to understand what they're interested in volunteering-wise.
See if there's a good match.
Exactly. Does the club offer what they're looking for? If not, maybe connect them with a neighboring club, or even think about starting a new branch or specialty club if there's enough interest. Find the right fit.
It's about mutual benefit, not just filling slots.
Precisely. Growth is about engaged people, not just bodies. The guide mentions an LCI recruiting script, but stresses personalizing it.
Yeah, gotta sound natural, not robotic. Any specific outreach tips?
A couple good ones. Always ask if they've been asked before. If not, gauge their interest in community service first, then talk about the club.
And if they have been asked before,
Find out why they didn't join then. Maybe things have changed. Would they reconsider? Or, importantly, do they know anyone else who might be interested? Always ask for referrals.
good point. And those personal visits to businesses. More tips there.
Keep them brief, under 10 minutes. Offer to schedule longer if needed. State your purpose clearly right away. Recruiting for Lions need 3 to 5 minutes.
Respect their time.
Yeah. Observe the office for conversation starters, photos, awards, etc. Limit materials, maybe just an invite. Be positive you're offering an opportunity.
Not selling something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if they're not interested, thank them. Ask for referrals. Move on gracefully. Don't push it.
Okay, practical advice. Now, hosting that informational meeting itself.
Some reminders. Confirm attendees beforehand, maybe call or email. Encourage them to bring others. Make sure the club leadership is on board to accept new members.
Logistics. Setting up the room.
Yeah, anticipate some no-shows, but have extra chairs just in case. Dress professionally, but maybe not full-on Lions gear initially.
Keep it approachable.
Start on time, stick to the agenda, keep it under an hour. Clearly explain what the club does and why new members are needed. Visuals help show project impact.
And be upfront about cost and time.
Absolutely. Accurate info is crucial. And they suggest asking attendees for their ideas for projects, what roles they might like, get them involved mentally.
Makes them feel valued from the start.
For sure. Have applications ready, collect them with fees if possible, right then and there for those who are ready.
Streamline it. But what about follow-up for those who don't join immediately?
Crucial. The guide really emphasizes this. The outreach team coordinates, assigns specific people to follow up with each prospect, and tracks it.
What should that follow-up involve?
Thank them for coming, reconfirm their interest level, invite them personally to a regular meeting or project, and again, ask for referrals.
And do it quickly.
Ideally within 48 hours. Phone, email, personal note, whatever fits. Timeliness shows you're serious and keeps the momentum going.
And throughout this whole implementation phase, keep checking the plan.
Yes, regularly review the growth plan, the goals, the schedule. Be flexible. Adjust based on what's working and what's not. It's a dynamic process.
Makes sense. Okay, that brings us to the final, and maybe most important step. Step 4. Welcome new members.
Absolutely vital. You've done all this work to get them. Now you need to make them feel they belong so they stay.
How does the guide suggest doing that? Starts with induction.
Yeah, the new member induction ceremony. It's symbolic, a formal start. Key to retention, they say. LCI even provides a guide and a free induction kit for this. Make it meaningful.
Beyond the ceremony, what else? Orientation and mentoring.
Critical components. Orientation gives them the foundation, how the club works, roles, the bigger Lions picture, district LCI. Informed members are engaged members.
They recommend doing orientation early on.
Within the first 3 months, using the Lions New Member Orientation Guide. And mentoring is that more personal support.
Helping them use their skills, grow into leadership roles.
Exactly. Enhancing their experience and, ultimately, the club's service. LCI has a basic mentoring program linked to orientation. It's about individual support.
So structure and personal connection.
Right. And the common thread through all of this welcoming phase is involvement. Get new members active in club activities and projects right away.
Let them start contributing and connecting.
That's how they build relationships and feel valued. The guide notes people join for different reasons: service, causes, friends, leadership, family time. Good clubs offer avenues for all these.
And asking new members for their opinions.
Yes. A new member questionnaire, maybe adapt it to understand their expectations, interests, ideas, shows you value their input from day one. They link to a membership satisfaction guide, too.
Wow. Okay. It's a really comprehensive approach.
It really is, from that initial internal look through planning, outreach, and then really focusing on that welcome and integration.
So wrapping it up, this Just Ask guide gives a really thoughtful roadmap for any group looking to grow and thrive.
Yeah, starting with knowing yourself, planning strategically, reaching out effectively, and then crucially, welcoming and engaging those new people.
And the core message, like you said, is pretty simple.
Thoughtfully asking and warmly welcoming, that's how organizations strengthen their ability to make a difference.
So the final thought maybe for our listeners. Think about these steps: understanding purpose, identifying needs, strategic outreach, effective onboarding. How could they apply in your world?
Right. In any group or community you're part of, even informal ones, what's one idea from this deep dive that really clicks with your own experiences building or joining communities? Something to chew on.
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.